In previous class, we have discussed about this part of algorithm. Okay, like for multiply the two number, the start algorithm. Let A and B and product with a three number. Then accept the value of A. Then you have to accept the value of B. Then product equals to A into B. You multiply it. Then display the product. Then end of your algorithm. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a thing we perform. Now in the preceding algorithm, A, B and product are the variable. The variable is what? There is a memory location where you have to store your value. Okay, it is a location where you store a value. You are taking a value
Store
10,
the value.
you are taking a value 20, that value you store in it. And the variable value will changes throughout the program execution. Suppose I am giving a text that you have to add a number, then you store 10, you store 20, then you are getting a result 30.
Yes, sir.
If I am giving to the other person maybe give 60, maybe 80. So it is dependent to the user which value the user can pass. Okay. So they
Okay, sir.
are called variable because the value contained in them is not fixed and can
Fixed.
vary during the execution of the algorithm. Okay. If we define product equals to A into B, so here the equal operator is called as the assignment operator. The equal is called as the assignment operator.
Assignment.
It assigns the result of multiplication of A and B to the product. So after multiplication, what is the result will come? So it is stored in the product. Okay. So equal is called as the assignment operator.
Assignment operator.
So consider another example that you have to increment the value by 1. So first of all, we represent start the algorithm. Let n be the number. We are taking one number. Let n be one number. Accept the value of n. Okay. Then for increment, n equals to n plus 1.
N plus 1.
Please increment the value to 1. Display the result. Then end of your algorithm. Okay. So in the
Sir, in the middle, in step 3, that's the accept the value of n. Means we have to mention that to accept that value.
yes,
Means
yes.
we can also do like let the number be n, and for increment we can also do like n is equal to n plus 1, and this can also be done. But in the middle we have to put that accept the value of n.
Yes. If you want to interact with the user, if you make your algorithm as a dynamic, okay. If you want to make
Yes,
it
sir.
dynamic where you can interact with the user, at that time you are passing the value, accept the value of n. That means you are giving an instruction to the user. The user supposed to be give some value.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So in the preceding algorithm, n is a variable. So in the statement, if you write n equals to n plus 1, the number 1 is added to the value of n and increment number is stored back in the n. Okay. So n is added and increment value is stored in the n. Okay. Then comes to the flow chart. A flow chart is a graphical representation of algorithm. Okay. It consists of the set of symbols where each symbol represents a specific kind of activity depicted in the algorithm. Okay. Flow chart is just like a diagram. So when you are going to build a building, at at that time you design a map for it, where your bedroom will be there, where your kitchen room will be there, okay, and where your bathroom will be there. So you define it in a graphical manner. Diagram is giving or picture is giving the better idea to understand any kind of concept. Okay. If your book is only contain the text, so it becomes very boring to us to learn. If it is having some kind of picture, some kind of diagram, it make us as a interesting. Okay.
Interactive.
So that is the way that when you accept the input from the user, you have to represent it through the diagram. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Flowchart is a graphical representation of this algorithm. It consists of some set of symbols where each symbol represents a specific kind of activity that is depicted in the algorithm. A typical flowchart would involve, so it is involving accepting instruction and data as input. So you have to take the data as input, process the instruction and data, then display the result as an output. Okay. The flowchart is also follow the IPO cycle. It takes the input from the user, then processing is going on, then it display your output. Okay. The preceding would involve the computation and the decision that are being taken. You can include any kind of decision making concept here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then what is the advantages of the flowchart? The flowchart help in analyzing the problem effectively. When you represent anything in a graphically, it is giving you the better idea to solve a problem. Okay? So there is a disadvantages is also there. A lengthy flowchart may extend over the multiple pages, which reduces the readability. That means if you write all the thing in a one page, then it is better to understand. Okay, and if the things are written in one page, then another page, then you have to move to the back, then come to the previous.
Difficult.
So it reduce the readability. Okay, and it reduce the efficiency of a particular person. Clear? The changes made to a single step may cause redrawing the entire flowchart. Okay, if you do any kind of changes in a particular step, then you have to redraw the entire flowchart. Clear? Then comes to the pseudocode. A pseudocode, a detailed yet readable description of what an algorithm must do. It is expressed in formally styled natural language rather than in a programming language. Pseudocode. Pseudo means false. Before you are writing a code, you have to write a false code. It's just the preliminary step of writing. Okay. It is expressed in formally styled natural language rather than in a programming language. It is used as a initial step in the process of developing a program. Okay, for developing any program, it is the initial stage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how you have to write the pseudocode? Pseudocode can be written in a block of begin and end statement. The begin and end statement is a block where you write your false code or your code.
Hmm.
We elaborately discuss about this. What is the pseudocode? First, it uses English-like statement. So you have to write a
Hmm.
English-like statement here.
Hmm.
It needs no rewriting. So there is no rewriting a program. Then, but in the flowchart, what happens? If you want to make changes anywhere, then you have to draw the entire flowchart. The limitation of the pseudocode. It is a detailed, yet readable description of what an algorithm must do. Okay. It expressed in a formally styled natural language rather than in a programming language. Pseudocode is not used as a programming. Okay. Now, which one of following tools is used to show a graphic representation of steps required to solve
Flowchart.
the flowchart is used to represent in a graphical representation. Graphically represent. So it question for you. Okay. So write an algorithm to find out whether a number end of a year is divisible. Okay. Write a algorithm whether a number end of a user is divisible by 5. What is the
Start process, start the algorithm. Then
you have to add
the
number. Then divide the number by 5. So if the remainder is 0, then it is showing you number is divisible by 5.
5.
So if the remainder is not 0, it's showing you
number not divisible.
the number is not divisible by 5. Then end of your algorithm. Okay.
Yes.
Then write an algorithm to display the first 10 multiples of 9.
So first we will start the algorithm.
Yes. Then display 9 into 1. 9 into 2.
Acha, we will write the display 9 into 1.
Yes, yes. It's just a multiplication table. 9 into 1 is 9. 9 into 2. 9 into 3. 9 into 4.
9 into 5. Like that, up to 9 into 10.
Yes, yes. Then write an algorithm to find out whether a number entered by a user is a even or odd. Okay. So that thing you do it. It is a task for you. Okay. You do it in a pen and paper. Okay. And send me through WhatsApp. if it is correct, then after sending your tags, then I will share the your this video as well as this book.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So after giving the tags, then I will share all this material as well as video. Okay. Today itself you have to do. Okay.
Hmm.
Last question
Sir,
is
what is the question? What is the question once again, sir?
write an algorithm to find out whether a number is even or odd.
Whether a number is even or odd.
Yes. Yes.
Let me note it down.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Hello.
Yes. Write an algorithm.
Mhm.
Write an algorithm to display whether a number is even or odd.
Yes, sir.
And next program, write an algorithm to accept the two number from a user, then subtract the first number from the second number and display the result. Okay. So write an algorithm to accept the two number from a user and subtract the first number from the second number and display the result.
Okay, sir.
So next, computer perform various tasks by following the step-by-step process. Okay.
Hmm.
To perform these tasks, instruction needs to be provided to a computer in the form of a program. The set of
Hmm.
instruction which is used to do a specific task is called as the
Hmm.
program.
Hmm. Hmm.
As we already discussed, when you prepare for a fruit
Hmm.
juice, first you have to take a
Hmm.
input as a fruit,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
you
Yes.
add the sugar, then you have to
Hmm.
grinding it, then your
Grind it. Hmm.
output is your juice.
That's the output. Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
here, the step-by-step process we have followed.
Hmm.
For a NAPE programmer, writing such program in any programming language is a very complex task. Okay. So therefore, it is better to break the entire problem into a set of steps and to represent the same using a diagram.
Hmm.
The flowchart can be used to represent the programming logic in a graphical form.
Hmm.
So normally what happens when a marriage function is there, okay,
Hmm.
and we arrange that marriage function in our home. Okay, we're preparing a food. Somebody is cutting the vegetable. Somebody is cooking. Okay, so
Yes.
every people are divided their work. Okay, after that they have started to preparing a food. Then another department is what? To serve your food.
Yes.
So that is the different tasks the different people are doing. That means what? We are breaking the problem or breaking the task into a particular department, and we are giving every work to a team leader that you have to handle. So you are the responsible for to complete the work on time. Okay. So that is called as what? You're breaking a program into a smaller part. Therefore, it is a better to break the entire program into a set of steps and represent them using the diagram.
Diagram.
A flowchart can be used to represent the programming logic in a graphical form.
Graphical form.
So what is that flowchart? Flowchart are used to represent the programming logic in a graphical form. It helps in depicting the logic in a step-by-step process. The step-by-step process where represent our logic that help in better understanding of working process. It help you evaluate the correctness of the logic of the step involved in the process. Okay. To draw the flowchart, a set of symbols are we're using. We're using some kind of fixed symbol to represent our logic. In addition, you need to follow some standardized rule while creating a flowchart. Okay. A flowchart is created by using the set of symbol. In a flowchart, the flow of the indicated with arrow connecting the symbol. Each symbol represents an activity to be performed to derive the solution of a given task. Okay, means what action you have to do, the symbol is saying there. It's just like when you moving in a track, moving in a highway. If there is a hump, so it is showing you the signal of hump. If it is school area, it is showing you the symbol of a boy, girl having a bag.
Boy and a girl walking.
Okay. If no entry, that symbol is what cross is there and there is mentioned no entry of entry. From that symbol, we coming to understand what is there. Because of while you are moving the highway, where they so these are all things are represented. Now, these are we are using in the flowchart. The first is for input. Then next is it is used for that is processing for your input. It is used to specify any or mission. Output for output box we are using here. It is used to display the output of the user. So why procedure? So when it is not possible for a particular person to do a complex work, divide that work and every smaller part is handled by the individual person. Okay. So after handling this thing, individual person, then you have to gather in a main mode. Okay. It's just like I'm giving a number, subtract the number and multiply the number. Okay. So you divide into add group is different, subtraction group is different, and multiplication group is different. So you do each operation all in your model. Clear?
Yes.
And now we are using a flow line. when you represent a symbol, all the symbols are connected with the arrow mark, arrow symbol. Clear?
The symbol.
Yes, arrow symbol. Suppose you have a page over connecting to another. If you take a best example, when you write a statement, at the end of a word, if there is a no space, suppose if I want to write a beginning, so after BE, there is no enough space to
No
write
space.
it.
We'll give one hyphen.
We are defining one hyphen. So that means what? We are connecting from the beginning of the first statement.
Beginning of the
So that is the best example of your on-page connect. Next is off-page connector. You are getting a question paper in your exam. If in one page there is a question, if that question is again present in the next page, so it is giving you PTU. Please turn over.
Please turn over.
That means in the next page there is some other question is present. Like that. Suppose you are designing a flowchart and there is not enough space is present in a particular page, and you want to represent another page. So in that case, you have page connector. Okay? After that, this symbol is called as the annotation. Annotation means it is used for what? Describe. Just like write any long question, you are giving a heading.
Heading.
What you use in annotation.
Yes, sir.
You can call as. So this is.
Sir, actually, where these symbols are used means how symbols in which point?
In an analysis developing a software, when you gather the information from the customer, so at that timing you represent the customer problem into the flowchart. Then
That time.
by knowing the flowchart, the developer can write the code. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Suppose you are interacting with the customer, and you know the customer what are the problems are there. So you gather the information. It is presented that easily demonstrate. If the user is agree, then you give that starting to.
Okay.
Right?
Got it, sir.
See there, the flow chart that accept a number and increment it by 1. So you have to accept a number, then increment the value. So how it is performed? First, start of the flowchart, then accept a number, then add 1, so it is a processing, add 1, then it is giving you output, this is a display, then end of the flowchart. Okay.
Sir, in every program, we have to mention that start and end.
Yes. In the flowchart also. In the flowchart, you are connecting the symbols. See that all the symbols are connected through the arrow mark.
Connected, arrow mark.
Okay. First, we have mentioned here start of the flowchart, then accept a number, then add 1 to a number, then display the number,
then
end
display the number is the output.
Is the output. It is output box.
And